Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. Please invite your friends and let us have some good time together. Before we start, we have a Muslim in the chat. You always Muslims in the chat, they are heroes, but they don't dare to call me. But just to show you an example, actually this is perfect for our topic today. Muslims always, they try to say that they are people who respect Jesus and they appreciate him and they believe he's a prophet. But the Muslim, they do not hesitate to insult Jesus non-stop, 24 hours, 7 days a week, all their life. And actually the chat in front of you is an example. Let me show you. This is a Muhammadan. Just now, he just posted this. I just came to go live and I saw this. Jesus used the toilet, poo-poo. Jesus used the toilet, poo-poo Jesus. Obviously not God. First of all, you coward, you son of Muta, can you show me where Jesus used the toilet? Secondly, can you prove to me that your God Allah, he don't use the toilet? Number three, is it true that your prophet, when he used the toilet, the earth opened her mouth and swallow his poo-poo? Is that because he's God and his poo-poo is holy? So the Muslim, they throw things which is absolutely false, for they love to insult Jesus. And look how stupid and how low they are when they speak about Jesus. He tried to prove to you that Jesus is not God. How? Jesus did poo-poo. Can you show me where it says Jesus did poo-poo? I would love to see it. And you just say it. Not only that, look like this Muslim, he knew even how Jesus did it. Look, this Abdul, he said, God does not use bathroom the way Jesus did. Can you show us the way Jesus did? I can show you that when Muhammad do poo-poo, the companion used to surround around him and he used to teach them how to do shit. No shit, brother. Here we go. This is the hadith, as long as you mention it. The hadith says that they said to the Muslims, your prophet, he teach you everything, including how to do shit. He said, yes. Hatta al-khara. Now, can you show me where Jesus did poo-poo and the way he did it? And actually, this is what our topic today about. Look at this. This is a hadith. I see that your friend teach you about the experiment. You see the Muslim trying to change the words in Arabic. In Arabic, it says, يُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْخَرَاءَ. خَرَاءَ. Literally, how to do shit. And he is not insulting. He is noticing that Muhammad, he sit in the middle and the Muslim is surround around him and Muhammad is telling them how to do shit. Now, did Allah teach Muhammad how to do shit and he did it once in front of him, so Muhammad he learned? I will be waiting for you to tell me how Muhammad he learned how to do the correct shitting so the Muslims will shit as Muhammad shit. I'm waiting for you. Ilyas, are you there? Because how Muhammad he teach you how to do it unless he taught by Allah how to do it. And the only way for Muhammad to learn it is to see it. And now Ilyas is dead. He's gone. He don't dare to show us what he said. He don't dare to prove what he said. He is just a potato following a shitty prophet. And I like it when the Muslim, they try to make a sound different, say experiment. Experiment. What is that? In Arabic it says يُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْخَرَاءَ. Read it. How to do shit. Literally. And I never heard of a prophet, he teach people how to do shit. And not only that, your prophet, he insists that the Muslim, he clean his anus with the 3 rocks. Did you see it? And look at the translation. It says in Arabic, ثلاثة أحجار, 3 rocks. What the Muslim, they translate? And now Ilyas is dead, he is not there. You know, this is an example actually Like today, our topic, I opened YouTube and I saw advertising from Shabir Aly. Advertising about the Christmas. I mean, why the Muslim want to pay and make video, paid advertising? You know, this is cost a lot of money. Why they want to do advertising video about Christmas? This is the video of Shabir Aly. You can go and watch it. It's called, I have it in the info, Navigating Christmas as a Muslim, Dr. Shabir Aly. And they have a very nice, funny image. And Shabir Aly trying to make himself look like he is a Santa Claus, but a Pakistani version, you know. And Santa Claus, the Muslim, he is telling the Muslims, yeah, some scholars, they say we should not say Merry Christmas. Some, they say we can. For me, you know, Christians, like in Canada, we have a lot of harmony. And Christians, they say to us, Happy Eid. So I don't see a problem to say to them, Merry Christmas. So, you know, like the message sound fine. There is no problem. But the question is, why even this is a topic? Why even the Muslims, they are saying we cannot say Merry Christmas? Why even we need to tell them you can? In the same time, Muslims don't agree with him. This is just a propaganda. This is why it's paid. So he can fool non-Muslims. Muslims agree with him. We should lie to Christian and say to them, Merry Christmas. This is called taqiyya. As long we are weak, and we are not the majority, we cannot tell them that we are Muslims been taught to do war and do jihad, and Christians are the cattle. The Quran calls us cattle. Why Shabir Aly don't tell people that we are cattle? I made a comment in his video. My comment disappeared in less than 4 minutes. What happened to Elias is gone. Did I hurt your feeling, or you are going to watch how your prophet do it? Yeah, well, you know, my friend, I can show you. You see, here we go. This is a great example how Muslims, they are the enemy of Jesus. Look what this guy, he said. When a Muslim, he says to you, we believe in Jesus and we respect Jesus. There is nobody respect Jesus will say what he is saying. Be my witness. It's in front of you in the chat. I could just imagine CP wiping Jesus' poo-poo in his face. Yuck. In fact, I can show you the hadith where you Muslims drinking the piss of your prophet. I'm not going to say yuck because you are the same as his piss. He did not make you dirty. You are more dirty than his piss, because only people of dirt will drink piss. And not only that, even your prophet, he ordered you to drink the piss of the camel. And not only that, I can show you even a video made by the Muslims, movie, that the Muslims, they were fighting over the poo-poo of the camel of Aisha. My Jesus, the one you are insulting, you coward, according to your Quran, he was called holy. Chapter 19, verse number 19. So how he is dirty, because this is what you are trying to say, Christian Prince, while being the poo-poo of who? Of Isa, no problem. But isn't it this is your stupid Quran? Look like your God Allah did not make a correct statement about Jesus. He is stupid like you. He think that Jesus is holy, but according to you, no, Jesus is not holy. And remember, Jesus was holy when he was an infant. Now, if we ask Muslims, the Isa, the infant, do he do poo-poo? Infant. How come your God Allah, he is saying that this is a holy son for an infant? So the Muslims, not only they insult Jesus because they hate Christianity, but they spit at their God because their God get them busted. Now we know that their God, he hate Jesus too, but their God, he have to use the name of Jesus so he can break the line, so he can penetrate Christianity and he can deceive as many as he can. But you cannot do that with us. I am a Christian prince and I'm here to spank your God with no mercy. So as you see, Jesus in the Quran is a holy son. Muhammad never been called holy, not even once in the Quran. In fact, the Quran says that may Allah forgive the sin of Muhammad. May Allah. And here you ask yourself in chapter 48, verse number 2, while Jesus forgiving sin, wherever he goes, Muhammad, his God, saying to his God, may Allah forgive your sin. May Allah forgive your sin. Do you see it? In the same book, Jesus is holy, chapter 19, verse number 19. In the same book, Muhammad is a fraud. And not only that, Allah is asking other Allah, may Allah forgive your sin in the past and in the future. How many times we heard the Muslims saying that the Pope of the Catholic, he gave a document for the Christians to go to heaven to forgive their sin, which is false, by the way. There's nowhere such a thing. But this is actually in the Quran in the front of your eyes. A license for sin, but you know Allah cannot grant it because Allah, he have another Allah. This is why we see Allah saying, may Allah, that may Allah. The word here is a supplication, it's a wish. We ask the Muslims who is talking, they will say Allah. Okay. How Allah, he says, may Allah forgive your sin. Allah making supplication to who? This is a big poo-poo of Muhammad. Muhammad, he make Quran always. He make the Quran to fit with him. You know, he want to clean his image. He want to shine his image. For he is a terrorist. He is a criminal. He is a child molester. So, you know, he want to be like, okay, you know what? You know me. You know everything about me. You know, a scumbag. So now listen carefully. Allah said to me, may Allah forgive your sin in the past and the future. So Muhammad is not even repenting. He is claiming that his God, he said to other God, may Allah forgive your sin in the past and the future, so he can do sin as he wish. In the same time, going back to Shabir Aly, if we search in YouTube about can Muslims do say Merry Christmas, if we search in Google, we will find a million videos saying no, haram, haram. You know, have you ever seen a Hindu, or the Hindus are busy saying, can we say Merry Christmas to the Christians? They don't. Only Muslims. Have you seen a Buddha saying, should we or should not? So the question, why only Muslims? They cannot. The answer is very simple. Islam is a religion of hate. Because Islam is a satanic, hateful religion, and the Muslim been taught to hate the Christians. This is why, based on the hate background of this religion, the Muslim, they cannot say to you Merry Christmas. They hate you. How they can say to you Merry Christmas? They hate your Jesus. They hate your God. They hate your Bible. They hate your cross. They hate your church. And they will say to you Merry Christmas. If we search right now in Google, can a Muslim say Merry Christmas? Oh, this is different. Hold on. Let us see Merry Christmas. This is... Zakura. Can a Muslim say Merry Christmas? Absolutely haram. Huh? Haram. Brother, haram. Like we search for Merry Christmas, we see the word Merry. I don't know what happened with YouTube. Hold on. Can a Muslim say Merry Christmas? Let us see. Wishing, can I say Merry Christmas? Can I say Merry Christmas? Can I say Merry Christmas? Go watch them all and you will see how much this religion hate you. How do I respond to Merry Christmas? This guy saying. He's in trouble. He's a Muslim. And now somebody says to him, Merry Christmas. What I should do? Can I say that to him back? But the question is, why? Why they are in trouble? What is the problem? What is exactly the issue? The issue is very simple. Islam teach hate against everyone not a Muslim. You know, why Shabir Aly, when he speak about sympathy, like the Christians are nice to us, so we should be nice to them back. Well, thank you very much. Sound good. So how come you don't practice that when you were in Pakistan? How come in Pakistan you treat the Christians as like animals? You kidnap their women, you burn them alive, you kill them, you take their children. But in Canada, you speak about how, you know, we Muslims, with the Prophet taught us to be nice. The Prophet taught you to be nice. I post a comment under Shabir Aly video, but he took it off in a few minutes. I said to him, I dare you to read chapter 5 verse 51. This is the reason you cannot say to them Merry Christmas. This is why you cannot even wish them something good. The Muslims, when they pray 5 times a day, they curse us and they curse the Jews 5 times a day. The first thing in the morning, a Muslim, before even he wash his face, he have to curse you. He read the chapter of Al-Fatiha, saying, please Allah, don't make us like the lost Christians or the cursed Jews. He can't even pray to his God without insulting us. When a Muslim, he come to you and he try to give you a shiny face of Islam, and this is the purpose of this paid advertising, trying to make Islam look better. But Islam is a religion of terrorism. No matter what famous people say, no matter what your false presidents say, no matter who quote Mohammed, like the filthy Joe Biden or George Bush or all the hypocrite liars. The Quran even forbid the Muslims to love their own family if they are not Muslims. Their own family. Why? What is the problem? For Islam is a hate satanic religion, if we can call it a religion. Chapter 58, verse number 22, it says the following. And as you see, this is their translation, not mine. Everything we say to you is coming with the proofs of details and confirmation. Oh, you Muhammad, you will not find any people who believe in Allah and the last day making friendship with those who oppose Allah and His Messenger, And who is the one who opposes Allah and the messenger? Anyone don't accept Muhammad as a messenger and Allah as God. And we know that the true God of Islam is Muhammad. You know, Allah is just a sex toy. Muhammad, he insert it when he want, he take it off when he want. Sometimes have a battery, sometimes doesn't have a battery. Depend in his needs. So you, Muhammad, you will not find any people who believe in Allah and the last day making friendship with those who oppose Allah. In fact, this is a false translation. It says yuwaduna, not only friendship. What friendship? Those are their families. You will see soon, like when you read the verse, the rest of it, you will see we are talking about their own families. What friendship? Do you need to make a friendship with your mom? I changed the translator. Look what happened. I just changed the translator. I did not change the book. Thou will not find any people who believe in Allah and the last day loving those who resist Allah and His Messenger. Even though they were their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their kindred. For such He has written faith in their heart. And by the way, this verse in the Quran proving Islam to be fraud. Why? Allah, He said, you will not find one believer, you will not find one, just one. Between the believers, he will be good to the Christians, to the Jews, to the anyone. He's not a Muslim. You will not find one. Some Muslim might say to you, oh, this is talking about those who oppose Islam. Oppose Islam is all the world who don't believe in Islam. This is why the Quran in chapter 9 verse number 29 says, fight those people of the book who don't believe Allah. What is the reason to find them? Because they don't believe in Allah and He is a prophet and the last days, and they forbid as Allah He forbid. Those are the one who oppose Islam. Why? They don't believe in Allah. They don't believe in the last day of Muhammad. They don't believe in what is forbidden by Muhammad. They don't acknowledge the religion of Islam. Those are the enemy of Islam. So when Shabir Aly, he come with his lies, paid advertising, it's just to deceive your children. If a Muslim, he cannot be friend to his own family, his own mother, he cannot be loving to his parents if they are not Muslims. How a Muslim like Shabir Aly coming to us and giving us a speech that Muslims should be like sympathize with the Christians? What kind of message, Shabir Aly, you have? Why you are lying? Why you don't give the true Islam to the Canadian people? Paid advertising, aren't you ashamed? Paid advertising. Because the moment you say Merry Christmas, that means you are agreeing to everything Christians do in Christmas. He's saying, some scholar, they say that. Well, this is very funny, by the way. In the second you say Merry Christmas, that means you're agreeing about everything the Christian they do in Christmas. What Christian do in Christmas? That's weird. He's saying he don't say that. He's saying some they say that. According to Islam, a Muslim cannot say Assalamu alaikum. Shabir Aly, wherever he go, he say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. He tried to present Islam as friendly religion. But if we go and check the reality, Muhammad, he said, لا تبدأ اليهود والنصارى. Let us see. Don't initiate salam to the Christians and the Jews, salam, which means shalom. Even this word is stolen from us. And not only that, when you see a Christian in the street, force him to walk in the sewage. Why Shabir Aly in his program, I'm trying to find this hadith in English, give me a second. Why Shabir Aly in his very sympathetic, sympathy, harmony, you know, when you hear those people, you think those people, they believe in mercy, love. They are, you know, there is no Al-Qaeda and there is no ISIS, and their prophet did not chop the heads of thousands and thousands, did not rape women, he did not kidnap the Christians, he did not kill the Jews, he did not rape Christian women, he did not rape non-Muslims. The whole idea of a paid advertising, they are looking for stupid ones between us so they can fool him. Is that their prophet saying, when you see a Christian, don't greet the Jews and the Christians before they greet you? And when you meet one of them in the road, force them to the most narrow alley. The Muslim, they feel himself that Islam make them superior. So you as a Christian, you should say, shalom, 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 you know, like as if you are a dog. He say to you, and you can respond as you wish. However, you have to force him, you have to harm him. You see the translation here says the narrowest part of it. What is the narrowest part of the, there's a road, the road is a road, there's a narrow part of road, there's a sewage, there's a low ground in the side of the road where the dirty water in the town run. So a Muslim, he have a duty to force the Christian to walk in the sewage. Yet Shabir Aly is giving us speeches about Islam, and the Prophet told us to be nice. We are wonderful people. We love everybody. Right? Free Kaka Kuta saying, we don't say Merry Christmas because we neither believe nor celebrate your ungodly holiday. Well, look who is talking about godly holiday, a black stone kisser, and the stone is in the shape of a vagina. However, I have a surprise for you. What about you call me, and I will show you that your God celebrate the birth of Jesus in your Quran. Do you dare? Black stone kisser who talking about ungodly? Is it godly to kiss a stone in the shape of a vagina? Is it godly to marry a child she is 6 years old? Is it godly to go to your son's house and take the wife from your son and flirt with her when the husband is not there? Look who is talking about godly. A black stone kisser. Somebody saying, would you befriend an atheist? I friend everybody. In fact, we as a Christians, we should friend everybody. Why not? Isn't it the Bible says go and teach and preach everybody? So if we say they are atheist or they are pagan or they are, you know, whatever they are, if we say we cannot, you know, we cannot be good to them, then why we want to go to them and preach to them and bring them to Christ and do miracles in the name of Jesus and do charity and save them and feed them? Number one charity in the world, which feeding non-Christians are Christians. When Muslims, they run for their life, they come to Christian countries. They don't go to Saudi Arabia. They don't go to Indonesia. In fact, Bangladesh and Indonesia, they kicked out the Muslims from Myanmar out of their land. While the Christians, they opened their countries and they took millions of Muslim refugees. And you are talking, do you be a friend? And why the Muslims are running away from their country? Because Muslims killing Muslims. Because Muslims are peaceful. Now, I challenge this coward who says, we cannot celebrate your Christmas. It's ungodly. Call me. My Skype is open, and I will show you your God celebrating Christmas. Who dare? Who is a Muslim? This is why the Muslim, by the way, don't dare to debate me, because I get them busted from their book. Mohammedan, they are people who do not know their religion. They have a big mouth, and they have a dirty bathroom, and we have all their laundry. And because they knew we have all their laundry, they don't dare to call us. Anyone? Ungodly Christmas. Look who is talking about ungodly. Huh? What is godly for a Muslim? Do you want me to show you what is godly? Let us show you some of the godly. Allah, He made a verse for the Prophet saying, why? Why you tell that guy, you know, keep your wife for you when Allah told you you have her? Look at this religion, brother, godly. Allah have a conversation with His Prophet. Why? Why you scumbag are being hypocrite? You want to F this woman, excuse my language, but when the husband come to you, because now he heard that you are sleeping with her already, and you flirt with her, as even the wife told him. When the man, he came to him, and he said to him, you know, because he's his father. Imagine, the son is speaking to his father, and the father wanna F his wife. And the God is saying to Muhammad, why? Why, man? Just take her, man. Just take her to bed. What's wrong with you? So look, behold. Behold, dude, say to the one who had received the grace of Allah and the favor, retain though in woodlock the wife. Allah saying to Muhammad, why you say to the man, keep your wife, man? Have you ever heard of a God? He want a man, he encourage a man to divorce his wife so Muhammad can F her every day. This is what the verse saying. Behold, huh? And by the way, this translation is false. There's no behold. The Quran is a very, you know, scumbag language. وَإِذْ تَقُولُ, what behold? And when you say to the one who Allah, He gave him the grace, what the grace He gave him? Godly is worshipping only one God. That is one of the most funny thing, because the Muslims, they say we worship one God, but the second we ask them who is their God, they have no idea. And I have my challenge for you. The one who says the word potato, you're trying to copy me now? I have copyright over the word potato. I'm the one who call you potato. And let us see who is the potato. Challenge in front of everybody. My Skype is open. And I challenge you even to tell us who is your God. Have you ever, people, heard of a religion, not a single one of them knows who is Allah? You ask them who you worship, they say Allah. We said, well, Allah. He said God. I said, okay, who's Allah? He is God. Okay, well, no, listen. Who is Allah? He is God. What the heck? Idiot. I know that you worship God, His name is Allah. I'm asking you, who is Allah? They don't know. All what they know that this God have 5 fingers. By the way, He don't have any. I broke them all. He have a shin, and by the way, He have 2 shin now because I break them. And He have an ass. Why Allah have an ass? We don't know. And He sit in a chair. Why He sit in the chair? And He is a person who have a back. And even the Prophet put his hand between his back. Any Muslim can tell us? I'm waiting for you to tell me who's Allah. You know nothing about this God you worship. Even the name, you do not know what Allah mean. Okay, who is a Muslim can tell me what Allah mean? You don't know. Everything you have is a theft from other culture, from other religion, from other country. Not a single Muslim knows what Allah mean. Yesterday we have Abdul who called me from Indonesia, if you remember, and he, the Muslim, they claim that Allah is the only one God. But the second we said to them, why Allah, he says, if we like to take a partner, we will take it from us. Who is us? Not a Muslim in the world can answer that question. Allah want to take a partner from us. Us who? Those people, they keep saying to us, we believe in one God. Okay, if you believe in one God, how does God, he says, if you want to take a wife, we will take her from us? Us who? Are you there, Mr. Godly? Have you ever heard of a God who get married? I mean, even saying that statement is stupid. The verse saying, had we intended, we, are you there, Mr. What's your name? Free, what? The funny, he's a Muslim, he is a slave of Allah, and he called himself a free. Since when a Muslim is a free? You are a slave of the devil, Allah. Even your prayer is not up to you. You have to pray in a certain time. You don't pray willingly. How you call yourself a free? You are just a free potato in my present. Who is a Muslim can tell us the godly Allah, who is one God, he is saying we. And who is the godly who want to marry, and he call himself God, yet he says, if we like to take a wife or a son, i.e., etc., we would have taken it from us. Taking it from us? How many us we have? Remember, he's talking about taking a partner, so the Muslim cannot say he meant himself. Otherwise, Allah will be a transgender. He is going to have sex with himself. Any Muhammadan? My friends, the Muslims are driven by the evil Muhammad, and we are here to help them. We are not here to speak against Muslims. We are here to speak against the garbage of Muhammad. Those people, they are victims of the criminal Muhammad. They are literally victims. You will not find one Muslim there to criticize Muhammad. Muhammad is a perfect man. I mean, have you ever heard of a perfect man unless he is God? If there is any man is perfect, Muslims? Yes, Muhammad. Ask them, do you believe Muhammad is a human? Hey Muslim, who want to answer me? Do you believe Muhammad is a human? They say, yeah, he's a human. So why you keep saying he is a perfect? And if you say he is not perfect, then why don't criticize things he did? As long as he's not perfect, that means there's something wrong. Who dare to criticize the criminal, the terrorist Muhammad? Nobody. Somebody says in the chat, He is a prophet. Well, I challenge you to show me the prophecy of Muhammad. Here we go, the Quran in front of you, zero prophecy. All the prophecies he said, they come to be true? Zero. In fact, all of them, they come the opposite. Muhammad, he told the Muslims, 100 of you can fight 200. After what? After they went to war, and he told them that one of you can fight 10. He prophesied that one can fight 10. The Muslim, they went to war, they got spanked. As soon as they came back, Muhammad, he changed the verse, and he said to them, you know what? Allah, he just told me that he found that you have a weakness. So he lightened your task. It's a task. And here you ask yourself, as long as this is a task given by Allah, doesn't matter what the number is? Do you understand what I'm saying? If God, he gave a task and he promised me victory, does it matter really how many we are? We are going to win anyway, right? Because if God is with me, who could be against me? The Bible says. And Muhammad, he stole the same phrase and he put it in the Quran too. If Allah is with you, you will be victorious. If he forsake you, you will be loser. So when Allah, he promised them victory in chapter 8, verse number 65. Have you ever heard of God? He found for the present, Allah has lightened your task, for he knew that there is a weak spot in you. Why he did not know it here when he gave it to them in the morning? He made a discovery. He just received an email. Do we have any brave Muhammadan? He dared to text me in Skype so I can call you immediately. As you see, this cult, they don't know who is their God. They do not know what their religion is about. They are just programmed. They do 5 prayer. They wear certain clothes. They say certain words, but they have no idea what they believe in. Not a single Muslim knew what he believed in. They keep repeating the same thing. We believe one God. Tawheed, brother, Tawheed. But Tawheed in Arabic means unification. You stupid. How you claim that you are a person who believes in one person, and then you use the word Tawheed? Who is the donkey who told you that the word Tawheed represents one person? Tawheed means unification, unifying parts. If something is already one, we cannot use the word Tawheed for. As an example, Tawheed al-Duwal al-Arabiyya, unification of the Arab countries. The second you say Tawheed, you are talking about unification. So if Allah won, unify him by doing what? Adding a glue? What happened? Allah, he broke? Okay, maybe we have a Muslim. Let us see. We are calling him. Hello? Yeah, mostly Fakira, son of Muta. I mean, even the one who called us, he gave the F word to his prophet. Can you believe it? A Muslim from Senegal, he said the F word to his prophet. They have no dignity. Do we have any real Muslim who don't want to say the F word to his prophet? Someone he loves his prophet. And you will notice that the Muslims, the number of Muslims who they are rejecting the Islamic teaching is getting bigger. They claim that they are still believers, so what they say, oh, I believe only in the Quran. And then now, not only that, they say, no, I don't accept any interpretation for the Quran. I do interpretation by myself. So they reject their prophet explaining the Quran. They reject the scholars explaining the Quran. And now they want to come with their own explanation, but they don't even speak Arabic. And they accept that the Quran is corrupted. And they accept that their prophet, he disobeyed Allah. So the number of those who are going apostate is big. According to Muslims, those who, and we don't say Muslim, we are saying the one, they are Muslims, the traditional Muslim, not those potatoes. The one who don't accept the hadith of the Prophet of Allah, he is an apostate. Do we have any Muslim? And you know, anytime somebody he says to you, he don't accept the hadith, ask him what's your Prophet full name. Because you know, the funny thing about this religion, this Quran is empty. The Quran say Muhammad. Okay, Muhammad who? Muhammad. Okay, Isa who? Where this Isa was? Where is, what Abraham mean? And where he is coming from? Israel. Who is Israel? Suddenly the Quran say the word Israel, but doesn't say who is this guy. So the Quran is an empty book, totally empty book. Hold on. Free Calcutta, he says, just to show you that Muslims are really ignorant, whatever the word mean, you know, ignorant, totally ignorant. Look what this guy he just said. Be my witness. I said that the Muslims are slaves, they don't have a free will, and they are victims. So look what he said. You said Muslims are victims. No, we are not victims. And we choose to worship Allah, S-A-W-T, which is funny to say that, with all our heart and our free will. And it is pleases us 100%. Well, you just gave your prophet a finger. Here we go. This is your prophet. He says you are a liar. It is not you who choose to be a Muslim. This is your Quran saying that Allah, when he created you in your mother womb, he decide what you will be, good or bad, bad deed or good deed, going to heaven or going to hell. But you said to me that we have a free will and we choose happily to be Muslims. Is it your prophet? He said that, what we show you in the screen? Is that your prophet saying that? And all of this is sahih? In this hadith here in front of us, not only you don't have a free will, not only your God say that you are a slave, it says what is written by Allah will take over and you go to hell, even if you are working to go to heaven. Read carefully. This is your prophet. Are you going to say your prophet is an idiot? When Allah, he created you, you will be in the form of a sperm in your mother womb for 40 days. And by the way, this is scientifically to be true. Only donkeys believe in that. 40 days as a semen. Look like Muslim, they have a semen made of rocks. And look at the way that Allah, he created the baby. It's funny, it's hilarious. But then the most funny is our topic now, he says. And then the angel, he will come. Allah will send an angel who breathed life into it. And the angel is commanded to record 4 things about it. 4 things about your life. Provision, its term in life, in the world. It is conduct. And whether will be happy or miserable, by one beside whom there is no true God, verily, one of you would perform the action of the doors of Jannah, which mean heaven, until there's only one cubit between him and heaven, and then what is written by Allah foreordinate would come to pass, and he would perform the action of the inmate of hell until he entered. Do you see it, potato? Do you see it? You did lie, or you were ignorant. I will let it go. I will say you are an ignorant like the rest of the Muslims. You claim that you choose when your prophet saying no, you are not. Even your deed is not a choice. There's a video of Mufti Menk. Mufti Menk, he was talking about destiny. You can replay the video many times, but I'm avoiding playing their video so they don't flag it. He said that the caliphate, they arrested a thief, and they brought the thief for him. So the thief, he said to the caliphate, why you want to punish me for something Allah he ordained for me before the creation, before my creation? Allah he ordained for me before my creation. Mufti Menk, he continues saying, the caliphate was, he outsmarted the person, he was like smarter. He said to him, well, it was destined for me to punish you. This is Islam. Why you want to punish me for a sin it is written for me to do? What is the answer? It is ordained for me to punish you. It was destiny too. It was destiny for you to be a thief. It was destiny for me to punish you. This is Islam. I'm trying to remember the name of the video of Mufti Menk. I will not play it, but you can watch it. We played here many times, if you remember. I forgot really what was the title. Maybe somebody can find it. So this is the truth. Muslims do not have free destiny. Even an infant, Muhammad even, he said, an infant, if he die and he is a child of a Muslim family, he might still go to hell. Why? Why an infant he might go to hell? We have a person, he called himself exposing Christian Prince. Let us see this guy, he's going to expose me. Maybe it's Zakir again. Read carefully with me. Muhammad, he went to a funeral and he found, you know, his wife making a statement after they came back. She said a happiness will be for this child. He will be a bird among the birds of paradise. Why, Aisha, she is saying that? He's an infant. He did not commit sin. He did not even reach the age of sin. And this is very authentic hadith, as you see. What Muhammad, he said to her? Don't be stupid, Aisha. Potato. It might be the other way. Do you see it? It might be the other way. An infant, he might go to hell. He is born of a Muslim family. Muhammad, he claimed in a different hadith that everyone, including me and you, are born as Muslims. Yet he claimed that an infant, he might go to hell. But Aisha, she said, but he did not go commit sin. He did not even reach the age of sin. But Muhammad, he explained to the stupid Aisha, he said to her, you stupid, it's a predestiny. In Islam, everything is a predestiny. So when this guy, he called himself a free whatever, he is just being stupid. He do not know his religion. It's predestiny. Allah, he wrote who will go to hell or who will go to heaven when this person is not even created yet. It's a destiny. So he commits sin, he don't commit sin, who care? And this is, in fact, is a clear proof that Islam is satanic teaching. Why? Because this is against the nature of God. God is just. Do we agree, guys? Do we agree that when we say God, God should be just? Why he want to send the child he did not commit sin to hell? What hell is for people who commit sin? Doesn't make sense. But in fact, in Islam, everyone who commits sin, he did not commit sin by his choice. So, which means Allah is evil when he sent people to hell if he is God. Because he made them commit sin and now he will punish you for what we made you do. This religion is stupid. Somebody is saying like Calvinism, what does this have to do with Calvinism? I'm saying you go to hell. You said Calvinism. You go to hell, you stay in hell forever. You say Calvinism. Calvinism. And by the way, those who spend their day talking about Calvinism, obviously they have nothing to do in their life. Like a grandmother, she is 110 years old and she is looking for a cartoon. They are being like the Muslims, you know, they have nothing in life. Drinking tea, doing Ramadan, sleeping afternoon, doing boom boom, praise be to Allah. Do we have any Muhammadan? Anyone? Calvinists believe in Jesus. So what if you believe in Jesus? But where you come with this Calvinist stuff? Anyone who try to take the place of God, he do not know what God is about. Are you going to tell God what he will do in the day of judgment? None of your business. What God will do is what God will do. If you believe that God is fair and justice, then don't go and waste your time and the time of others with your stupid philosophy. God will do what is just. That is the Bible answer. When Jesus, he come in his glory with the glory of his angels over the cloud, he is going to punish who deserve to be punished. And he will reward those who deserve to be rewarded. The rest is none of your business. So those who claim to be Christians and they spend their day talking about philosophy, and maybe God will give us in the oven for a few days for the sin we did. No, I think God, he will give us a Vaseline because he don't like to burn us. Those are the silly ones of us. They are being like the Mohammedan. They have no job to do and they have no life. Who define what is just? Very simple. You do not need to define it. Just is to deserve what you get, and you get what you deserve. There's no need to define. I mean, even just need a special define? We are talking about God who knows everything you did, and he is the one who put the law for you. If there is a better just judge to judge you, do we have any Muhammadan? Anyone? Nobody. Do you see how stupid this religion is? Any Muhammadan? Who is a Muhammadan want to help us? I texted you, where are Muslim kids going according to your Bible? Why you are ignoring? Where you text me? Tamsir. Okay, post it here. I did not see any text. You texted me where? This guy, he said he texted me. I texted you, where are Muslim kids going to according to your Bible? Okay, show me, go again. Don't tell me I texted you. What text me where? Post it here. Stop crying like a baby. He texted you. Where? I have nothing in my Skype. And here we go. The chat is open for you. Go ahead. Stop your drama. And by the way, the Muslim now, he is angry. He said, I texted you what the Bible says about Muslim kids. But in the Bible, there is nothing is called Muslim kids, you idiot. You are just a pagan person. We don't even recognize you. You are just a pagan. You are just a black stone kisser. And look what happened to you. We show you what your prophet said about your kids. You go and you say, your Bible says about Muslim kids. My Bible is so clear, he says, whoever believe in me and live and die will live. A child, he did not get a chance to believe or not to believe. Why he will be punished? You are just a silly person. Do we have any Muhammadan? Anyone? Actually, Jesus, he said, if you don't become like those little ones, if you need to become like them so you can go to heaven. This is what Jesus said. Another Muslim saying, you worship Jesus a Trinity, pagan needed counsel to change your book, need in New Testament. You see, the Muslims are a bunch of liars, because the Council of Nicaea was not to discuss the Trinity. It was to discuss how Jesus came to exist. So the Muslim, when they speak even about Christianity, they show us again their ignorance. For the debate was not if Jesus was part of the Trinity or he is in the Trinity. The debate was not if Jesus was God or not. The debate was when Jesus came to exist. Is he exists before time or exists in certain time? That's all. Liar. Same time, you worship a pig and a Trinity. Look who is talking. I find it fascinating when a Muslim speak about paganism, those who worship Allah and Jibreel and Muhammad. If there is no Muhammad, there is no Islam. If there is no Jibreel, there is no Islam. If there is no Allah, there is no Islam. So all of Islam is based on three. The three musketeers. The guy with the penis, Mr. Muhammad, who go and if his wives, all of them in one night, and the Muslim, they make books about it. Mr. Jibreel, who squeezed Muhammad like a mayonnaise, still he could not make him read. And Allah, which nobody saw. So can you explain to me why Islam is based on three? If you are not a Trinity person. Muslims do not worship angels or prophet. No, you do. You are a liar. Here we go. Actually, the hadith I showed you, guys, who is the one who create babies? Who is the one who give them life according to Islam? I will wait for the Muslim to give me the answer. Is it Allah or the angel? Listen carefully to the question just to show you how pagan they are. Who is the one who give life in Islam? To babies. Allah or shit or angels? Who is a Muslim when I answer us? Are you going to search Google? Shouldn't you say right away, it's Allah? I mean, do you even need to think about it? Who is a Muslim? Can give me the answer. Who is the one who give life to the babies when they are in the womb of their mother? Allah or angels? Who is the one who breathe the spirit into the babies? Allah or the angels? Look at the Muslims. Suddenly they are dead. Oh, the battery is off now. It's not working. The only one have answer is Fakira. I'm waiting. Who is the one? I want the Muslim to answer me. Who is the one who give life? Breathe life. Allah or the angels? Hello? Fakira. Yeah. Are you there, Fakira? Yeah. Filthy. His mother must be, she gave birth to him in the bar. Right away he said the F word. Who is a Muslim can give me the answer? Who is the one who breathed life to the baby in the womb of his mother? God or angels in Islam? Look at them. What happened? They are dead? I mean, why this answer is so hard? Shouldn't all of them say right away Allah? What happened to this guy and that guy? And what happened? Why nobody is answering? Where is the Abdul? Who is the one who breathed life into the baby in the mother womb? Allah or the angels? No answer. Do you see the cowards? Do you know why they did not answer? Because guess what? According to Muslims, the one who gave a creation is the angel. Can you believe it? The one who breathed life, and the source of life is not coming from Allah, it's coming from angels. So who's God? Mr. Free. Look, Free is here. But Free is ignoring my question. Free, you have no answer. Free, are you there? You're still alive, my friend? So why you are talking to everybody except me? I'm waiting. Who is the one who gave life to babies in Islam when they are in their womb, the mother womb? Is it Allah who breathed the life into the child, the fetus, or it is the angels? Who is the Muslim going to answer? Can you believe it? Those pagans, they believe that you are created by angels. Read with me. And I can show it to you from the Quran and even from the Hadith. This is Muhammad. He is telling us how the baby is created. All those hadith in front of us. Read with me. And this is Sahih Hadith. And here, even in Arabic, it says muttafaqun alayh. It's agreed upon. Agreed upon. There's no question about it. The angel, Allah will send an angel who breathed the life into it. Do you see it? Allah, Jibreel, and Muhammad, the Trinity of Islam. Who is the one who breathed? Who is the one who gave you life in your mother womb? Jibreel. And Jibreel, he went inside your mother vagina. And he climbed all the way to your mother womb. And then he breathed there. Do you see it? Is that the Christian prince making things up? Am I? And the Muslims, they call Jibreel the Holy Spirit. So he is Holy Spirit, but now he is inside your mother vagina, and he is the one who breathed life to you. So what Allah he do for a living? Look. How that make us pagan? I just showed you that the one who created you is the angel. You don't worry, if you are not a pagan, then you should not accept that anyone give a creation except the one you call him God. When Allah he breathed into Adam, where he took his breathing from? He took it from the angel, according to Muslims. All the source of life, according to Islam, is coming from the angel Jibreel. And you are telling me how that make us pagan? Not to forget that you kiss a stone, you pray around a stone, you bow down in front of a stone, and even Shaitan, he is the cousin of your God, and he live in the same town, and you throw stones at him. It's a stone religion, win-win. And how that make us pagan? Who is the one who gave life? Who is the one who gave life to Adam? The angel, according to Muslim, not Allah. Allah, he made only the clay. Then Allah, he breathed the spirit. The Quran called it min ruhina. We ask the Muslims, who is the ruh? This ruh. They say Jibreel. Not me who says that. And the hadith in front of you confirm it. Though all the breed of life is coming from the angel Jibreel. How that make us pagan? Well, that's mean your God, he did lie to you, and your prophet did lie to you, and you lie to us. You keep saying the one who created us is Allah, is Allah, is Allah, and then we find that life is given to you as a child when you were in your mother womb by an angel, not by Allah. And this is a hadith in Bukhari and Muslim together. And this is very authentic, as you see here. It says, Muttafaqun alayh, agreed upon. Seriously. Agreed upon. Which means not a single Muslim will dare to say, unless you are a fakira, he would say, I don't like it. As you see, like this is Sahih al-Muslim, al-Bukhari, etc. See it? Even life, according to your cult, is given to you by the angels, not by Allah. Adam himself, his soul was not given from Allah, was from the angel. Even according to you Muslims in the Quran, the one who created Jesus is the angel Jibreel. Even Jesus, according to your Quran, created by Jibreel, not by Allah. According to the Quran, Allah, he breathed the spirit, which is supposed to Jibreel, into Mary's vagina. And even the Muslim tafsir, they say that the one who made it happen, it was the angel Jibreel. This is your religion, if we can call it a religion. And look how funny, even how the baby is created. Total creation is 120 days. 40 as a semen, 40 as a dead blood, 40 as a lump. And bingo, you have a beard now. There's one story in the interpretation of the Quran. It says that a guy, his wife, she gave birth to his son, and when she gave birth to him, he was 4 years old, and he had a pubic hair. This is how stupid this religion is. And look now, all the Muslims, they are in chaos. They don't know what to say. The angel, he breathed. I received the breathing. I received my spirit from an angel. And look at this, guys. The angel will write down his lifehood. Write down where? I mean, how stupid is that? Isn't it the Muslim, they say, if Allah wanted something to say to be, is going to say be? Why we need to write it down anywhere? Allah, he sent the angel to write down. So the angel go inside your mother womb, and he have a pen behind his ear, like a, you know, and Allah, okay, I will write now. I'm ready. Okay, okay, he would do fornication in the date of etc. Okay, with who? With Zakir Naik, mashallah. Okay, Zakir Naik, he will have sex
with Susu Karabarani, okay? And what about, yeah, what about when he will get paid? Okay, he will get paid every 2 weeks, okay, plus donation from the Muslims, and then he will be, okay, destination, he will be wanted by the Indian government in the day, okay, Allah, I'm writing this. Which date, Allah? Which date? Okay, so he have to run away out of India before that date. Okay, this is what your prophet is saying. Even when you do fornication, Allah, He wrote your fornication. You did not choose to do fornication. That's why the Muslim, he don't feel guilty when he fornicate. You know, this is Islam. Islam is the religion of fornication. Read carefully. Verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in, which of necessity he must commit. Are you there? This is your religion. So when you say to me, Islam give a free will, if you know, are you mental? Free will? Do we have any Muhammadan? This is why here, when you see every day almost Muslims leaving Islam here. I mean, live, for sure, there's many they leave, not, they don't say. But almost every day we go live, we have Muslims denounce Islam. Because they see, we show the proof, we don't make speeches. I'm not here a person putting my head in the camera and, you know, making speeches. Here is a school. Here we have reference. Here we have a study. Here we have proofs. We don't make statements. We prove it. It's in the front of your eyes. Who dare to say I'm lying? This is Islam. Islam is just a stupid religion. And you know, if every one of us now believe that God, He wrote for us all the sin we will do, which when we have to do, so why I will feel bad? I mean, I cannot even resist it. Correct? This statement actually is satanic, because now I will feel relaxed, and now I don't reject sin because it's a destiny. If I steal, it's a destiny. If I kill, it's a destiny. If I fornicate, it's a destiny. This is a satanic statement to make a satanic person do satanic act. So he will never feel guilty. He know now that he cannot stop it. This guy, he hide behind the screen and chat nonsense. Well, I am Allah. Prove me wrong. Allah in the Quran, He says, not only he hide behind the screen, he is wearing a veil. Isn't it the Quran says that Allah, He wear hijab and He don't speak to anyone except from behind the hijab? Well, I am Allah. Prove me wrong. I have shin, I have 5 fingers, and I forget. So, and sometimes I do bad things. So I'm qualified to be Allah. I mean, I need to do more bad stuff to be like Him, but I can work in that direction to be Allah soon. Look what Allah, He said. It's not fitting for a man that Allah should speak to him except by inspiration or from behind the veil. Do you see it? Is your God Allah is hiding? Here we go, my God Jesus, He is not hiding. He came to earth. And He was not wearing a veil like your God. Your God cannot do it. Can He? I tried to talk to Allah, but always He is behind the veil. I tried to lift the veil, I saw His shin. If we ask the Muslims, why Allah He have a shin? This is chapter 42, verse number 51. Any Muhammadan? So this cult does not have self-respect. This cult teach fornication, sleeping around, raping, stealing and lying, and even taking false oath, because Allah will not take you accountable unless you mean it. So what is left in this cult to be good? A Muslim saying, who hurt you, bro? Thank you very much for saying that. Guys, so according to Mr. Round 6-4, I don't know what does that mean. If somebody speak against somebody religion, somebody hurt him. Does that mean that your prophet was hurt? Because your prophet 1400 years ago, he is all over the place like a monkey attacking the Christians. The Christians, they never attacked him. Actually, they gave him refugee. He went to Ethiopia. They opened their houses for him. So I'm going to go by your logic. Do you think a Christian here hurt your prophet? How? There's a hadith says, Amma ibnu ammi faqad hataka ardi. Regarding my cousin, he did rape me. Do you want to see it? Your prophet saying that. His cousin, he did rape him. But his cousin is not a Christian, so it cannot be the Christian. And Christian, they cannot rape you. If they do that, this is like a big sin, and this is we will go to hell. Especially Muhammad is a man, supposedly, even though he pissed like a woman. Muslims, I have all your prophet laundry. Be careful. This is why you don't dare to call me. All the laundry here, stinky laundry. And this is why all the Muslim, they don't want to talk about Islam. Let us talk about the Trinity. Okay, answer my question. The guy who called me yesterday, I mean, he made me sick. I was going to vomit. Can please answer my question? Why you are running away from my question? You know, Christian Prince, answer my question, okay? Why don't you answer the question? Oh. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Anyone? I mean, this guy yesterday from Indonesia made me sick with the way he talked. I hate it when a man Oh, the sound is gone. Sorry, I touched the microphone by mistake. Okay, I will go back from where I was talking about. I remembered an Egyptian joke. In Arabic, in Egypt especially, if somebody wanna like beg for something, he says "win nabi," which means for the sake of the prophet. Win nabi, nabi in Arabic mean prophet. Win nabi, which means for the sake of the prophet. So the child, he came to his mother, and he said, "Mom, who is the prophet Bosa?" She said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Yeah. Who's Prophet Bosa?" The mother, she said, "There is no such a prophet. His name is Bosa." Bosa in Arabic mean kiss. Like in the Egyptian accent, kiss. So there's no prophet. His name kiss. He said, No, there is. I said, "Who told you that?" He said, "My dad, he keep saying to our maid, when Nabi Bosa." Prophet, which means for the sake of the prophet, give me a kiss. When Nabi Bosa. So he went to the mother. He said, my dad, he keeps saying that when he speaks to the maid in the kitchen, he keeps saying to her, Prophet Bosa, which means he's asking her for a kiss, So the mother, she said, "Oh, there is no prophet. His name is Bosa, but your father, he have to deal with me soon. Yeah, I'm going to give a kiss to someone else now. When Nabi Bosa." Any Abdul? From the followers of a prophet Bosa? Abu Kabsha? You are summing up Pakistan foreign policy strategy in the name of the Nabi. Well, this all Islamic countries is the same. Inshallah. Inshallah. This is why they never accomplish anything. And if they accomplish, like now they are so happy, it's a football. But people are hungry, people are dying, people are homeless, people are leaving their country, crossing the sea to leave the country. But the Muslims, they accomplish something. They won a football game. Allahu Akbar. Finally, they did something. Unbelievable. And by the way, even that is against Islam, because that is haram. Playing football is haram. And this is telling you that not even a single Muslim is a Muslim no more. Music, playing chess, playing games, all those things are haram, forbidden. Muslim, they can play only 3 sports, but not for the sake of the money. Riding a horse, learning how to swim, and learning how to throw the arrow. Anything else is forbidden. And not only that, the Muslim now, they are, bringing thousands of people, bringing naked women. Actually, just today I posted in Patreon. I don't know how many of you saw the video. Did you see the video, guys, in Patreon? Al Arabiya TV, they are going around recording European singing, women dancing. This is Saudi Arabia. What happened? This is Saudi Arabia. Brother, this is Saudi Arabia. Dance, look at the nightclub. Look, Saudi Halal nightclub. Once I was, at that time I was with the army, and there's a Abdul, He's a civilian. He's not like an army. You know, because I'm an Arab, so he go with me when I go for lunch. So he go with me. He go to the restaurant, the same restaurant I eat in, and then he say to the waitress or waiter, whatever, who show up, every day we come there. He says, "I want halal pork." So I said, okay, this guy obviously he don't care for Islam, and he don't, you know, because he's making fun obviously of halal, you know, and he's eating pork. So every day he eat halal pork. I mean, he don't change, you know. So 6 months after, he asked me, "What are you eating? What is this meat? Look good." I said, "Oh, this is the same as you are eating, but different style. This is khanzir in Arabic." I told him khanzir. He said, "A'udhu billah, you are eating khanzir, which means pork?" I said, "You stupid. Are you laughing now? Are you kidding?" He said, "No, no, no. Why you are eating khanzir?" I said, "You stupid donkey. You are eating khanzir for the last 6 months. Isn't you every day come here and now you just order them and the dish in front of you, you told them, 'I want halal pork'?" He said, "Yeah, halal pork." He said, "You stupid, don't you know that pork is khinzir?" So this donkey, he did not know that the word pork mean pig. He thought pork mean like certain kind of meat, you know, like the way it's made. So 6 months he is eating halal pork, and now he is shocked that I am eating pork. He said, "How you eat pork?" I said, "You stupid, you are eating pork, and you told me a million times how yummy it is." Like he eat, and I thought, by the way, he's making fun of Islam. This is why I don't discuss with him his religion. Obviously, he's out of Islam already. And many times, actually, I laugh at his prophet. He never said anything. But now, suddenly, he is against pork, and he is eating pork in the same moment we are talking. He do not know. He don't speak good English. He do not know that pork mean, you know, pig. Yeah. And he said, you know, by the way, and I started making fun of him. I said, "By the way, you look like a pig now." He said, "A'udhu billah, don't say that. Please don't say that." I said, "Don't you know? Aren't you the one who said to me when we discussed this, you are what you eat? Aren't you the one who said that to me? You are what you eat. And you are eating pigs for the last 6 months. So what are you now?" He said, "I don't want to discuss this. Please don't, you know, please don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone." The Muslim, they say to you, you are what you eat, but they drink camel urine. And they swallow fly if it fell in their soup. And you are what you eat. Do we have any Muhammadan from the religion you are what you eat? You know, I'm thinking to open a clinic because now I know all the secret of medicine I learned from Prophet Muhammad. Anyone come to you, you tell him drink honey, even if he have diabetes. He die, you go to jail. There's a medicine for everything. Muhammad, he is Dr. Muhammad. He is not a prophet, he's a doctor. Do we have any Muhammad that want to say anything? When Nabi Bosa. Do we have Nabi Bosa here? Prophet Bosa? You know, once, you know, the old days we have like those videotape. You know, what they call them, VHR or something, like the old style videotape, the big ones in the side of your hand. So a guy from the church, he said to me, "You know what, my wife, she liked to see some Arabic movies, but we don't want to bring movies which is bad to the house. So can you, like, you know, get me some, you know, we like to see how the culture, etc." I said, "Sure, I will find you some." Anyway, so I gave him an Egyptian movie, and there's nothing wrong there really in the movie. Then he called me. He said, "Didn't I tell you that we want the video to be clean and there's nothing wrong?" I said, "Yeah, it's wrong, nothing wrong." He said, my daughter, she called me, she said, "Dad, they are speaking bad words I said, what bad words? So he said, they are saying the word like in English, the word vagina. I said, no, 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 you got it wrong. This is the name of the actor in Arabic. Her name is Vagina. It sounded vagina in English, but this is how they use it in Egypt. Dad, they are using bad words in the movie, Dad. I said, no, this is the name of the lady. This is her name in the movie. It sounds like the word you know in English, but this is different, okay? This is not the same. They are not saying that word. Dirty movie. Yeah, this is how funny the language can be. I send you a message about my Patreon membership. Nothing was detected from account in December. I don't know, Mimi B. I think I blocked you, didn't I? So, I don't know. I did not receive any message from you. Maybe you are blocked, because there is people who annoy me in Patreon and I block them. Because some people think if they make a little donation, they own me. I'm not for sale, my friend. Anyone who say things out of the line, I block. I don't care you make donation or not. Do we have any Mohammedan? Anyone? Any half one? Any Prophet Posa? You know, I find it funny that the Muslim, he is saying to the admin, sit back, and then the admin, he took his message off. I mean, you know he's an admin, he can take your message. Well, behave. Any Muhammadan? The followers of the Nabi Bosa? Abu Kabsha? Nobody? Situation is getting complicated. Is this a recording? Yeah, it is. We are recording it right now too. Who is a Muslim? Well, Mimi, I do not know, because I did not receive any message from you, so I don't know. Maybe you are sending to different person. There's somebody in the Patreon, he called himself Christian Prince something. Maybe I should report him because he is using the same name. But he, like, his name is different. If you go to my Patreon, is the one have more than 1,000 subscribers. Did you send there? I did not receive anything from you. Any Muhammadan would like to call us? You just converted to Islam? Okay, did you chop your penis or not yet? Utaya. If you are really converted to Islam, call me. You know, for me, I want to convert it to Islam. But then when I saw how Abraham and how Muslim they do it, I said to myself, I cannot risk it really. Do you know how Prophet Abraham, he did circumcision, Prophet Abraham? Look at this. The Prophet Abraham, he put his penis on the kitchen table or a tree stand or something stamp, and he used an adze. I mean, you know, I want to ask Abraham a question, the Muslim Abraham. Aren't you afraid to miss? Yeah, he's just joking, the guy who said he converted to Islam. Why Abraham did not use a hammer? Oh, we have the guy yesterday from Indonesia. He's calling back. Hello, Dawood. How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Speak louder. Speak louder.
Yeah, how are you? How are you, brother?
You first of all, you cannot call me brother. Why you are lying? Aren't you as a Muslim? You are not. Aren't you as a Muslim not allowed to call non-Muslim brothers? Hello. Indonesia. Hello. Okay. Are you there? I don't hear you. Okay, let me hang up and call him back. Brother. Good one. I hope he will answer. This is the guy who called me yesterday. Please answer my question. Can you answer my question? He's not answering. Maybe you have a bad internet. Brother? I mean, those Indonesian, they attack a Christian, they beat them, they arrest them, and then when they call us online, they call us a brother. 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 Look how nice they are. I mean, we are just brothers, you know, like family, you know, we are families. Yeah. Yeah, but I will this time I will make him speak like a man. I will not allow him to speak like, you know, hey, they make us say, you know, because that that is a way of talk will make me uncomfortable. I don't like to spend my time talking to anyone with this. Yeah, we will wait for him. He said, wait. Maybe he is doing circumcision with the ads. Do you know how big the ads, Muslims? Prophet Abraham, he circumcised himself using the Qaddum. Qaddum. Yes, Dawood, you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
you said to me, brother, are you allowed to say to Christian brothers?
That's not important.
No,
That's
it's
very
important for me. It's not important for you because you're an idiot.
Wait.
For me,
Can
no,
you
for me,
continue answer
everything.
my last question?
Hold on. Everything is important for me. Don't be like a
Why are
kid.
you afraid? You are always
Who is that
afraid
afraid?
of my
You are the
question.
one who said to me, brother, I want to understand. Are you allowed to call Christians brothers?
I'm not seriously when say that.
Okay, I'm asking you, what's wrong with you? Why you're afraid? We're having discussion. You call me brother. I want to know if you mean it or you are a liar. Do you mean it when you say to me, brother?
I'm not seriously
I
when
didn't
say
answer
that.
you. Listen, but don't make me hang up on you. You are just a stupid idiot. Why you don't wanna?
You
So
idiot!
are you
You
admitting?
quit my question.
Are you
You cannot
admitting?
answer my question.
Are you? I did not. You did not ask me the question yet. You stupid. I'm asking
I
you.
ask you
When you
I
said
got
to
you,
me, no, I
Father,
asked
and
you a
Holy
question
Spirit
since
answer me.
yesterday, and you coward, you cannot answer.
If you have
I
knowledge,
asked you
answer
from
me.
yesterday. Abdul, listen.
Not on the
Did
way.
I ask you yesterday a question and you refused to answer?
Because you not answer my question first.
It's recorded, it's there. I answer you for more than 35 minutes
No.
and I
Okay,
answer
answer me
you.
now.
Listen.
Answer me now.
So when Allah he said us, why Allah he said us?
I promise will answer you if you answer
Okay,
me
yeah,
first.
as long you promise, go ahead, answer me and we will go to the second question you have. Go ahead.
Yes, you answer me first. I
No,
promise
no, I don't.
will
I don't
answer
trust
you.
Muslim. Muslim, they give false promise. Your prophet, he promised his wife
You're
he will never
afraid.
have
You're
sex.
afraid.
He will
You
never have
cannot
sex
answer
with
my
Maria
question.
the Copt, and second day he was
Just go
doing boom
home.
boom.
Just go home.
Listen,
If you cannot
Abdul.
answer my question, just go home.
Listen. I gave you yesterday more than an hour talking to you, and I answered you, and you refused to answer me. So now we start. You tell me why Allah he said us, what he
I
meant.
didn't want to answer you because you not answer my question first.
You know, you are a liar. It's there. Everybody is my witness. Even the Muslim, they saw it. Even the Muslim, they discuss in the chat what I said to you and what you said to me. So how you say I did not answer you? It's recorded. It's there.
Yes, because you not
Yes. So
answer.
that's it. I
What did
answer
you
you.
say? God
Now,
is three
listen.
person.
Don't waste my time. I don't have time for kids talk. You are a liar. You call me brother when a Muslim cannot call me brother. Do you admit that you are lying to me?
I'm not
Do you
really.
admit?
Don't say
Do
that.
you admit that a Muslim cannot call non-Muslim brothers?
What not admit? Let's answer my question.
Are you going to? Okay, just shut up. Coward. What an embarrassment. You call me brother when your prophet, he says only Muslims are brother to each other? Liar. No dignity. Taqiyya. Answer my question. You did not answer my question. I mean, from all of Indonesia, there is nobody there except this. I spent at least 35 to 40 minutes answering your question. You did not answer my question. So, are you going to tell me or no?
Why you run away?
You are the one who ran away. Why you don't want to tell me why Allah said?
You hang up
Okay,
my car.
let us see who is the one who has run away. I am here,
You.
and I am the one who spent 35 minutes or more to answer your question. And now I ask you, yesterday I asked you, when Allah he say us,
I
why
will
he
tell
say
you.
us if he is
I
one?
promise will answer you, but you answer.
No, I don't take a Muslim promise. Muslim, they are liars. You answer me, we continue. Very simple. You are a coward. A Muslim making a promise. Who is the fool when I trust a Muslim? When your prophet, he says a Muslim can lie to non-Muslims. A Muslim making a promise. Let us hope you will answer. So are you going to answer or not? You said your promise. You said your promise. You said your promise. Do your promise. Here we go. Why Allah he say us if he is
Yes,
one?
but if you answer my question first.
Okay, I don't trust you because yesterday you said the same. You said if I answer my I will answer you, and then after 35-40 minutes talking to you, you refuse to answer me. So
Okay,
today,
that means you cannot answer my
listen,
question.
don't waste my time. You are just
simple question and
everybody
easy question.
is laughing at you. When Allah he say us, I'm not going to repeat the question again. Either you answer or you go to hell. So
I didn't answer
are you going to
because you
answer or
don't
not?
answer my
Okay,
question
go ahead,
first.
answer. Why Allah he said us?
Why no? Why you not answer my
Why
question
not?
first?
I want to hear your answer. I want to know. I want to
No,
convert.
no, you
Listen,
answer me
listen.
first.
I
That
just
is
bought.
rule. That is rule. You answer me first.
I just bought an ads, and
Listen.
I'm going
The
to do
rule is you
circumcise
answer
you
me
today.
first, then I
So
answer
when
you.
Allah is one or He is many? Why He say we and why He say us? Go ahead.
The rule is you answer me first, then I.
Just get lost. We have no time for kids. Potato. Just answer my question. Your question is answered yesterday in full. The true God is Jesus. The true God is the Father. The true God is the Holy Spirit. We did not answer my question. Jesus, before the world is exist, he is exist. Jesus said in the same chapter, in the same verses. We did not answer my question. What an idiot, coward, liar. Never trust a Muslim making a promise. He is a Muslim. They are allowed to lie. A Muslim, even he is allowed to take a false oath, even to his own family. He will take an oath in anything you wish. By the name of Allah, by the name of the Quran, by the name of Muhammad. And according to Islam, Allah will take him only accountable for what he meant in his heart. Only. So, and this is many places in the Quran saying that. Allah will take you accountable only in what you meant in your heart. So if a Muslim, he take an oath for you, saying, I will do this and this, I promise, he is lying. He is not even allowed to be faithful with you as a Christian. Look how many verses. Only what is the intention in your heart. Do we have any Muslim? And the funny, he called me brother. What a liar, hypocrite. I have no problem to talk to you until tomorrow, but we will have a conversation. Make us saying. Who? No, we don't have time to waste. He will not, he will keep repeating the same thing. This is what happened yesterday. I'm going to do the same thing. A very short question. Allah, he say us. Why he say us? That's it. We can continue. No problem. He will not answer. We don't know. Even, scholars who they are scholars with 20 feet beard, they cannot answer the question. Do you expect Abdul from Indonesia, he can answer it? He can't even read the word. Can you read Muhammadan? Okay. Anyone? He will take a wife from us. And what make it even more funny, that if you go and read the interpretation, you will see us, Allah, he meant the black-eyed women. So Allah is a woman, and he's a man in the best scenario. Because if us is women, that's mean he is a woman. And he is lesbian. He's talking about taking a partner, lahwan, which is a woman. The Muslim translation, they say wife. But in Arabic, it doesn't say really wife, it says a woman. If we want to take a woman as a partner for fun, we will take it from us. Allah want to have sex with a partner from us. And she is a woman. So in order for Allah to use the word us, he have to be from the same kind. You cannot be from different kind and you call it us. You don't count the dog with you. Read with me. This is the interpretation of Al-Jalalain. Not this stupid kid who do not know how to read his prophet name. Had we desire to find some diversion, that which provide diversions in the way of a partner or a child, which means he will take a partner so he can have a child, we would have found it with ourselves from among the beautiful-eyed houris, or the angels. And look how dangerous this statement is. If the angels are the one who will be the partner of Allah, and the word in Arabic is lahwan, which present women, that means angels are females, which the one Allah talking about. If they are male, that means Allah, either he is a female or he is a homosexual. If you go in the Quran, you will find the Quran saying the following. The Quran, according to Muhammad, his God told him that the Arab they make the angels are females. But they are not. There's no angels females. Do you see it? This is how stupid Muhammad is. So Muhammad is mixing between his previous pagan belief, which obviously they believe that Allah have 3 daughters, and he have angels daughters. According to translation here, but in Arabic it says, for them, they took for them sons. Those Arab, they like to have sons for them. They don't like to have women. But for me, they gave me daughters. And not only that, they call the angels females. So the Quran confirms that angels are not females. So this is chapter 17, verse number 40, the same chapter we are reading from, the other chapter, chapter 21, Al-Anbiya, verse number 17, says, if you want to take a partner as a wife for sex, a partner for sex, whatever that wife is, male or female, we go to the interpretation, we find that partner is either the female black-eyed women, as Muslims say here, in this interpretation, or the angels. How Allah he can partner with the angels, and how Allah will have sex with Jibreel. Anyone? This is why he refused to answer, because that question is very embarrassing. All what you need to say, okay, open tafsir, we read tafsir, it's bingo, it's over. But then everybody will see that Allah is not God as they claim. Because he just admitted that us meant human. Because the beautiful eyed houris are human. Those are going to be the wives of the Muslim men. So when Allah he says, if you want to take a partner, he will take it from us, and then we discover that this us is a human, that means Allah is a human too. Any Muhammadan? Answer my question. I promise you. You know, even Muslim women, they don't accept Muslim men promise when they get married. So they have to write down how much he will pay her. Otherwise, he will pay nothing. The wages for sex. Do you know what aqiqah tradition? What do you want, my friend? What do you want to talk about aqiqah now? What comes to your mind? You know, sacrificing. What? Why you want to talk about it? There's a reason you want to talk about it. This is what Muhammad he said actually. كل غلام رهينة بعقيقته. Do we have any Muslim? Tell me why you want to talk about it. I will talk about it. Give me a reason.
Let me find the hadith. Yeah. This is one of the fiction, superstition of Muhammad. Al-Hasan quoted Samura, who reported Allah Messenger saying, a boy is a pledge in his aqiqah. Sacrifice is made for him. On the 7th day, he is given a name, and his head is shaved. Yeah, this is from the superstition of Muhammad. And the funny is, the Muslims, they don't even translate the word, because they don't know what the word means. Any Muhammadan here? Who is a Muslim would like to call us? I promise you, I will answer you. Okay. Any Muhammadan? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. No Muhammadan? We are out of customers. So the only customer we have is this kid from Indonesia. Answer my question. I promise you. By the way, Indonesian, do Indonesian people speak like this, or only this guy? I hope only this guy. CP, enable super chat in YouTube so we can support you. My friend, YouTube don't like my videos and my channel. This is why each time I reach 80, 90,000 something, I lose my channel. So if you are serious about supporting me, you can go to Patreon. It's the same, very easy, if people are serious. Why it's easy to support in super chat, but it's not easy to do it in Patreon? Does it make a difference? Oh, Patreon link is there, if you are serious. Only him? Okay, thank God, only him. That will make me sick. Yeah, all Muslim, they can collect donation, etc. But me, especially me, you know, they from long time, I cannot. And it's okay for me. They thought, I think what they thought, that this guy, you know, if we don't allow him to take donation, he will stop coming online, maybe, you know. But I make donation or not, I will come online. I spend, you know, the majority of my work, I never had a donation, even a penny. So donation is just to support. And we have it, we don't have it. I will never stop exposing this garbage. Yeah, you know, some people, it's true. Some people, if you
You know, if they don't make money from YouTube, they don't come to YouTube. They go to different place. That's not the case for me. Here we go. There's no money. Doesn't matter, my friend. I mean, doesn't matter. All of you, you have a credit card. I don't want to discuss about money, please. You know, you want to help. Don't give me this one, do that, and that one. I mean, I just answer the guy. I don't like to talk about donation. I go live, I finish, I don't even talk about it. All of you, you know. From the time I go live until I go bye-bye, I don't even say anything. So don't tell me this. If you care, people who care, they will find their way. But people who want to find excuse, they will find excuse. Very simple. You know, like a human being is just like why you didn't call me for the last 10 years? Oh, I was busy. I mean, come on. 10 years you did not call this person. Obviously, you don't care for this person. So a human being, when he want, he find a solution for anything if he care. But if he don't care, he will find a million excuses to make it not to happen. As simple as that. You know? You might find your cousin, he come to your city at 60, 70 times, but he never call you. One day he need you. He call you. Because now he need you. He found a way to call you. Even he do not know maybe even your number. Yeah. Anyway. I want to burn the Quran. Why you want to burn the Quran? No, I don't agree with burning the Quran. We laugh at the Quran. Why you want to burn it? If you burn the Quran, so, I mean, what you did, nothing. The Muslim actually, you know, they fear someone like me who read the Quran, not an idiot burning the Quran. Why you want to burn it? Read it and show them, and you know, show them how stupid it is. That what caused damage to Islam. It's not burning the Quran, right? If no Muslim and you pleased to answer Genesis, translated Arab Christian Arab code Abraham, the father of Azhar, or the Torah. No, there is nothing in the Bible saying that Azhar is the father of Abraham. The Quran, because Muhammad is a fool and he do not know what the word mean, he is stealing from someone else. Azhar is as a word mean foolish in the old Aramaic, the ancient Aramaic. So Abraham, he said to his father Azhar, which means foolish, are you going to worship idols? So the foolish Muhammad, he thought that this is the name of the father of Abraham. Idiot, as usual, you know. And even the Muslims, by the way, many scholars, when they discover that this can't be the name, but the majority of Muslims until now, because this is what their prophet meant. He meant that this is the name of his father. But if you read carefully, it says Abraham said to his father Azhar. Like why you need to name? You just said his father. If you say his father Azhar, have he have two fathers? You know what I mean? Do I need to say the name of the father? He said to his father, that's it. You don't need to say the name. Then, because it doesn't make sense, because that can be possible if he's saying to his brother, because maybe he had many brothers. Guys, do you understand what I'm saying? It's possible that a person, he have many brothers, correct, or sisters. So it's okay to say that Abraham, he said to his brother, let us say Joseph. Why? Because he had many brothers, maybe 20, maybe 60. But here, this is the father. Somebody saying how Arab Christians can stay in Arab countries. First of all, those are our countries. Those are not their countries. Secondly, if you read the Quran, you will learn how our grandfathers, they paid jizya so they can live to the gang. Muslims, as long you pay them, you will be fine. They don't worship God, they worship dollars. Where is Eve in the story of Adam, offspring coming from the shoulder of Adam? Well, I mean, this is Muhammad. You know, Muhammad always he have his own reasoning for saying things, and mostly he copies stories from others. So the story about the seeds of Adam coming from the shoulders of Adam is silly and stupid, but it is not really, you know, what Muhammad is trying to say, because he's racist, that the black people are born to go to hell according to Muhammad, and the white people are born to go to heaven according to Muhammad. So this is the whole purpose of this hadith. Let me show the hadith in the screen. Give me a second. Yeah, very, you know, very very racist, man, very idiot. Okay, let us see here. For some reason, okay, I'm trying to find the hadith. Maybe the admin can post the link. That will save me from looking for it in English. The admin can post it for you. But anyway, a very racist cult, as usual. You need to go to Europe. They need you in Germany and England. My friend, people in Germany and England, they do not need me. They need God. You know, don't you see how stupid people in Europe these days? The whole world is stupid, not only European. I mean, look what happened for a football. Stupid people. You know, Europe is, not only Europe, even America. I mean, the whole world is doomed. People are stupid. People, they kill each other for the sake of a football. People, they cry for a football. People, they jump. People, they scream. People, they curse for the sake of a football. People are stupid. Don't be surprised if God, he destroyed this earth. A human being is really stupid. When a human being, he take an airplane and he is coming from a poor country like Brazil, how much the salary is there? $400 a month? He fly all the way to Qatar. He stay in a hotel. He spend couple of thousands, which is the work of maybe a year. To do what? To watch a football game. And where the money goes? To the mafia. You make them rich and you are poor. Do you know how much every one of those who play, they will make from the game, even when they lose? Millions. What you will make? I understand now why they are playing, because they are getting rich. You are getting what from it? Misery. He been murdered in Qatar? I don't know. I mean, murder can happen in any country. I mean, America is not a safe country too. I'm not going to say, you see, I like to be fair in everything I say. But garbage in, garbage out. I know that some of you will be upset when I say that. Because many of you is attached to the game. But by time, you know, you will become wiser, and trust me, you will notice that this is the game of the devil. It's all about money. See, I encourage people to do sport, but this is not sport. This is just pure evil money. And the human trafficking is used in this occasion. Prostitutions, because now it's the time to take a visa, and now the embassy, there will be, you know, like overloaded with people applying, and everybody take a visa. So human trafficking, sex trafficking, and slavery, even kidnapping for children, money laundering, drugs smuggling. It is the perfect time to do everything wrong. So why you want to do this? What for? What you get from it? You see, if I want to spend my time in anything in life, I want to ask myself the first question, what I will get from it. If I read a book, I read to learn. If I watch football, what I will learn, what I will get. Nothing. Did not even entertain you, because what you will do, you will be nervous, and most likely you will end unhappy, because one team only will be happy at the end. So if you get lucky, that team, which is your team, is going to be the winner at the end. If that happened. So the whole world go in misery, and then one team he won, but this team next year might lose. It's just a stupid, you know, but a human being. Human being is an idiot, and he loved to, you know, like people crying, they lost, you know, like what? They don't cry because there is, you know, crimes in their countries, rape, their borders is lost, their government is lost, you know, the country is messed up. People is throwing acid at women in the street. Women, they cannot walk at night and alone no more, because this country is, those European country, out of control. You do not know who is coming. You do not know who is leaving. You do not know that the Al-Qaeda and ISIS and wolf groups and left groups and right group, whatever groups, taking over their land, but they are busy watching football. Okay. You know, this is why it might sound not good for you when I see those teams, like especially big countries, losing. I get happy. I say thank you, God. Actually, you know what? If Somalia was part of the game, I would love to see Somalia beating all those European countries, just to make them humble again. Just to go back and see how stupid they are. Because it's not a football who can bring a glory to you. Stupidity is amazing. And until now, I wish that the country who will win is a country from the poorest and the most uneducated countries in the world. So all those big countries, proud of themselves, they will be humiliated. In fact, I believe that God should do something soon. This earth is doomed. I will not hesitate to ask God to bring the flood of Noah, clean this earth, for this earth really is ugly. And if the flood will take me, let the flood take me, but we want this earth to be clean. This earth is doomed. Very doomed. I mean, look around you. Everything is wrong. And we are in a time where if a woman, she is decent, she is stupid. If a man, he sleep around, he is smart, he is cute, he is the good guy. A scammer is smart. A victim is a fool. A criminal is a hero. And they glorify you. They write your names in books of history, like Mohammed. And then you will find that nobody want to say the truth. We are in a time, like how many times we heard the president and prime ministers, they are not Muslims, they say Muhammad was a great man. Why they do that? Because we are living in the doomed earth. They are cowards, they are hypocrites, they are liars. And if you are a person who's, they say to you, we live in a countries, we have a freedom of speech. But the second you say something, you don't agree with them, they suspend your account, they close it, they harass you. Unbelievable. Just speak something the crowd don't like to hear and see what will happen to you. And this is my story every day. Even Christians, by the way. When I start like teaching about Islam, you will see Christians, they come to me and says, well, why you are doing this? You actually, once I remember, there was a minister from a church called Anabaptist. I met him in the Philippines, and I made a speech in the front of the foreign ministers of the Philippines. His name is Senator Catayano. So this minister, this Canadian minister, so he said to me after the speech, so what do you do? I mean, I didn't understand. You sound like you are spreading hatred. Can you believe it? And then I went to his Facebook, and don't worry, I showered him. I get him busted immediately. I said to him, so you are saying to me, when I quote what Muhammad said, I am spreading hatred? You just prove my point. Islam is about hate then. Because if I quote Jesus, nobody can accuse me of spreading hate, but by quoting Muhammad, you just said to me the truth. He said, no, I did not mean that. I said, you did. I went to his Facebook, and actually I made the videos about it. Maybe somebody can find it. Every day he posts a post about Prophet Muhammad, how amazing he is. And those potatoes who they call themselves Christian ministers, they claim they are doing that so they can get closer to Muslims. Which means they are doing taqiyya, stupid act, satanic act. So in his mind, he think, oh, this is the way we can make the Muslims listen to us. But in fact, why they will listen to you now if they notice that you yourself, you praise their prophet? You know what I mean? Yeah, Senator Catayano, yeah. I believe his wife, she was the mayor of Manila at that time. Anyway, so he was so upset from me, and then I made videos and I made many posts in his Facebook, and he blocked me. I challenged him even to come and debate me live. But this is how we struggle these days with the liars within our churches. You will find a priest, he called himself a priest. He invite sheikhs to teach about Allah to Christian kids. And not only that, they teach them that we worship the same God. Your priest. Ali Sayan, he says, our enemy is not the Jews or the Christians. Our enemy is our own ignorance. Hazrat Ali. My friend, but isn't it Ali who killed a lot of Jews and Christians? Ali Sayan? Those are false statements to make, you know, those are fabricated stories. Even Ali, he burned people alive. He burned them alive. And you are telling me that Ali, he said, our enemy is not the Christians, not the Jews. What does have to do with Catholic or Protestant? There's many churches, from all churches, they do that. They support Islam. There's a Protestant, there's Orthodox, and there's Catholic. So don't tell me, don't play the drama, I'm not a Catholic no more. What does have to do with the Catholic? And there's many Catholic, they expose Islam. And there's many Protestant, they expose Islam. And there's, so the Lord, he says, from their fruits, we shall know them. Not everyone say he's a priest, he's a priest. There's a lot of doing business. When you go to a church, any church, let us say you are a new member, ask him certain questions. If you don't dare to answer, he is a false Christian. Ask him this question: what do you think about Islam? Ask him what he say about homosexuality. If he starts saying politically correct answers, he is a false Christian. Very simple. Two questions will show you what he is. Especially if you refuse to answer in front of everybody. Like if he is brave only to tell you in private, he's a potato, he's false. What do you think about Orthodox Church? It's a church like all churches. You know, my friend, I don't care for names. As I say, the Lord said, from their fruits you shall know them. So at church, if your church have a fruit, good fruit, it's a church. Jesus is there. God is there. Very simple. We don't care. You know, when somebody, he built a tomb, and he covered the tomb by the most expensive marble, granite, light, LED light. You put Wi-Fi in the grave. Still, it's a grave. It's dark. It's cold. It's a grave. So many, they decorated churches like the Muslim they do. But those churches are dead because there's no fruits. The priest, he don't even know what he's talking about, like the Muslims. If you don't see new convert, if you don't see this priest is bringing people to Christ, so what exactly his job? You know, the disciple of Jesus, they were not priests to do rituals. This is not their job. Their job is to bring people to Christ. He said, I choose fishermen. Those priests who do rituals are just doing business. A priest, he don't bring new people. I'm not going to say every day because it might be hard, you know. Not everybody can do that. But if the whole year is gone and this person, he claimed to be priest, he could not convert 5, 6, 7 people to Jesus. So what he do exactly? He read for us a few verses from the book. We can do it by ourselves. You know, once I went to a church. Somebody sent me there. He told me I would like you to talk there. So I went, and then I asked for the minister, and look what happened. He said to me, if you don't mind, send me your resume. I said, what resume? He said, yeah, send me your resume, you know. I said, my friend, maybe you did not understand me. I'm not here, I don't get paid, I do it for free. Why you want my resume? If you want recommendation, you mean, to be sure that like I am qualified, I can make some people who they are very well known to call you. He want resume and he never call me. So if Jesus come to them, they will ask him for a resume. If Paul come to them, Peter, John, they will say to him, give us your resume. Christianity was not built on those people. It's not about big churches and how big the size of the church. It's about what this church do, what the people in this church do. Ali Sayan, my friend, as long you are saying Ali took a revenge of Jesus on the Jews. I mean, aren't you stupid or not? Isn't it Jesus supposedly is one of the Jews? So how you take revenge? Secondly, how you would take revenge of the Jews because of Jesus if Allah saved him? Do you see how silly the Mohammedan are? Those Shia, they wrote stories about Ali, and I believe even Ali is not even exist. And not only that, those Shia, they believe that Ali is a light, made of light. In fact, Muhammad himself, he received a message from Allah by mistake. Jibreel was coming to Ali. So the Shia, they fabricate tons of stories about Ali. Like 2 days ago, we have a Shia who called me, if you remember, that the sons of Ali and Ali, they speak how many languages? 70,000 languages. Those are the books of the Shia. Shia is a stupid cult, the same as Muhammad cult, and have millions of fabricated stories. Ali is a supernatural. Ali, he was in China in the same time he was in Argentina. In the same time he was having a breakfast in Damascus. I mean, who is this guy, Ali? Those Shia, they worship the family of Muhammad. They are pagan. They ask him, the guy, he cannot have kids. He said, I have 7 daughters and I cannot want to have boys. So he said to him, when you do your wife, do her from behind, excuse my language, and each time you put it in, excuse my language, spank her and say, Ya Ali. So the guy, he went home and he made his wife bend over and he started doing boom boom. And each time he push it in, excuse my language, he spanked his wife with the maximum force he have, and he screamed, Ya Ali! And then guess what? The guy, he gets 7 boys. This is how stupid the Shia are. And look, this guy is saying, he keep repeating the same thing. Our enemy is not the Jews or the Christians. Our enemy is our ignorance. But isn't it the Quran, you stupid? Muta boy. He said in the Quran that Allah, he says, kill the Christians and the Jews until they pay the jizya. I mean, do you see how stupid, how silly you are? So, are you saying Ali, he don't believe in the Quran? He don't, right? Because as you see, the enemies, Ali, he said, the enemies, our enemy is not the Jews, is not the Christian. He kept repeating that. But the Quran says, kill the Christians and the Jews and until they pay you to live, and they have to do it with submission and subdued, and you have to be humiliated. And he keeps saying to us, Ali, he said, our enemy is not the Christians, is not the Jews. Where do you get this from? Ali, he burned people alive. Burned them alive, literally. Isn't it Ali the one who attacked the Jews and he killed them? Shia, they are very well known with the practice of taqiyya. You see, like this guy who called me from Indonesia is maybe not a Shia, but the Shia, they practice taqiyya way more than Muslim Sunni. Let us see. Let us show you Ali is burning people alive. Here we go. This is the hadith. Ali burned some people. Who are those people? They are Muslims. He burned some people. Alive. Israeli had to fight. Yeah, we have to fight, and we Christian, we fight too. Stop being stupid. I'm showing you Quran, and you say to me, you have to fight. You know, here the Quran saying you attack the Christian and the Jews just because you don't believe in Allah. And not only that, because your prophet is a hypocrite, he worship money. If they pay you, let them, it's okay. Just take the money. If your prophet is a person who is sincere and all his attack is about God, then he should not accept the money of the world. But if we pay him, we can worship Jesus. Do you see the hypocrite prophet? If your prophet is a real man, if I am now in a control of city like Mohammed, and a person says to me, I will pay you, let me worship Mohammed, and I accept the money, that means I don't care for God, because the money is from my pocket, not for God. So I favor the money over the belief. This is your prophet, he's a gang man, he's a mafia. Actually, the word mafia in Italy is coming from the Muslims when they would withdraw from Europe and they were taking jizya. The criminals, they took the place of the Muslims. They came to the stores, they say, okay, the same you used to pay for the Muslims, you have to pay us. Jizya. You pay for protection. Protection from who? From us. The Muslim, they say to you, will you pay for protection? Okay, protection from who? From us, Muslims. This is how filthy this cult is. It's a gang, it's a mafia. Do we have any Muhammadan want to say anything? Anyone? Yeah, I blocked him. I have no time for a stupid talk. Just 2 days ago, go and listen to the call from the Muslim Shia who called me, if you remember. And obviously he left Islam, but he don't want to say live on air. But obviously he left Islam. Go watch it. Jizya is not a tax. Jizya is a penalty, especially here. You see, it says you have to pay it with submission and feel themselves subdued. Open Ibn Kathir and read. The Muslim, they have to insult the Christian, they have to disrespect them, they have even to do the maximum humiliation to them. This is what is mentioned in the Pact of Umar. But if Muhammad is a true prophet, and really the mission is about God, then he will not accept any money. And this is why there is until now Arabic Christians in the Middle East, because they pay. As long you pay, you live. You don't pay, they will kill you. So Muhammad, because he is a money worshipper, he don't see God, he accept money. If a Christianity is a pagan belief, as Muslims they say, how you accept them to believe in something pagan for the exchange of money? Do you understand what I'm saying? If Muhammad is a prophet of God, and he is coming to change the religions for the bad ones, but then those bad ones, they pay you, they stay alive, and they can still worship Jesus. Right? Warning, anyone here is start bashing other Christian churches, I will block you. Christian spear, you are being stupid now. 40,000 Christian denomination, and what we got from your denomination, is it just one more? You are just being stupid. You know, this is one of the stupid things about a human being. He accused other church that they have 40,000 denomination, but isn't it yours is a one more denomination? Stupid. At the end of the day is what those churches they can accomplish. So in a certain time, the Catholic, they were able to spread Christianity within many continents. Wonderful job. Protestant now, maybe they are more active. Wonderful job. Orthodox, mostly they are dead. They are not doing anything. They are just doing rituals. Actually, I believe Orthodox now is the lowest in activities between the Christians. Zero fruits almost. What happened? Just wearing uniform, doing rituals. There's no teaching. There's no preaching. There's no evangelism. No, you don't go to the street and teach people. Where is the Orthodox? Go. The street is empty. Go. So there's many stupid people that are so proud about the name they have. But in reality, they are empty. There's no church is called which one is a true. The church which is giving fruit to Jesus is a true church. It's not a name, my friend. It's a place where there's a group of people, they work for Jesus. It's not a church name. So if there's a church which is Orthodox, and the priest in this church is a wonderful man, he's able to bring people to Jesus, this is a church of Jesus. I don't care for the name, Orthodox or Protestant or Catholic. From their fruits you shall know them. Only satanic people, they throw rocks at other Christians because they are not following Jesus. Doesn't matter what Christian you are. If you are a Protestant, you throw rocks at the Catholic, you are no Christian. If you are a Catholic, you throw rocks at the Protestant, you are no Christian. Because obviously, you did not learn what Christianity is yet. For God, he loved the world. He sent his only begotten Son. To do what? To make people believe in Jesus and to be saved. So Jesus said, whoever believe in me and I will live, not believing in Orthodox or Protestant or Catholic, that is your stupidity. You do not understand Jesus yet. Who care about your stupid bishop? Who care about your stupid priest? Who care about the name of your church? We care about Jesus. People follow Jesus. They don't follow the man. Those who follow the man, they will die, well, you know, like the man. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. We are dead. All of us here, we are dead. So you follow me, you are a fool. How I can save you? Me, myself, I will die. You trust a man, you are stupid again. The Bible says all men are sinners. The second you put your trust in a man, you are a donkey. Priest is a man, bishop is a man, I am a man, you are a man, all of us, we are sinners. And this is why we needed Jesus. We needed someone who have no sin. Not a sinner priest. So true Christian, he don't look at names of churches, he look at the fruits, at individuals. You can be a church yourself. You are actually the first church. When Jesus said when you pray, you go to your closet, that is your church. This is the first church you have, the smallest one. So start from yourself and then ask yourself, how many people I brought to Jesus? If your answer is 0, that means you are 0. So they are proud about names, but they are empty inside, like dead animal who is full of fart. You know, when an animal, he die in the field, do you know what will happen to him? Anyone see an animal, dead animal? Did you see any dead animal? You will find that his stomach is so big. He's so big, huge. Huge. And he's hard. If you kick in it, it's so hard. But the fact he's full of fart, gas. The worms are eating him from inside. So don't be like the dead animal who is full of gas and the worms are chewing him from inside, yet you think you are big. The Muslims don't fear you and your demonation. They fear me. They fear individuals who speak the truth. Most of your priests these days are doing business. I offer my service to many. Until now, the only one who allowed me to come to their churches to teach is a Protestant. Where is the Orthodox? Where is the Catholic? You tell me. All of you, you know, I don't take a side, but nobody invite me from the Catholic and nobody invite me from the Orthodox. They don't even want to mention the topic to their followers. Because the priests are bad, not the people. The people want to hear it, they want to see. And many of you here support me, they are Catholic and they are Orthodox. But your priests don't dare to do it. The only one who opened doors for me, it was the Protestant. This is the truth. I always fight hard to unite the Christians. And we can be always united if we share the truth target, which is Jesus. If you listen to the priest, they will take you to hell. Many of them, not all of them. Those who divide us, they don't belong to Jesus. Ask yourself a very simple question. Do you think Jesus will be happy to hear there is a Protestant and Catholic and Orthodox? Etc., etc., etc. Is that what Jesus wants? No. Jesus, he established one church. And now each one of them, they are acting like the Muslim, you know, the Muslims. Exactly, you know, in a satanic, Satan is dividing them. Actually, the Quran says in chapter 5, verse 14, Allah in the Quran, Aka Muhammad, he said, he will spread hatred and enmity between the Christians until the day of judgment. And obviously Allah, the devil, is successful. And you help him when you divide the Christians. You work for Allah. What your goal to contradiction in the Quran show us its falsehood. We have been speaking to Muslim couple. My friend, I have millions of videos. Just search. Every day we show contradiction. I mean, you will find my videos everywhere, my books, etc. So I'm happy to help you, but just get my videos. Didn't Jesus create the church upon the apostle? My friend, you are the apostle. What do you mean the apostle? The apostle, they are people exist in the time of Jesus. If you are exist, if I am exist, and we choose to be with Jesus, we will be his apostle. Isn't it Jesus he gave you not only to the apostle? You know, when Jesus he speak, is he teaching only the apostle? And now the apostles are gone, so are we out of them? What apostle? Even apostle, they are sinners. We don't depend on the apostles. We don't worship them. We don't follow them. We follow God. When the apostle, he says something, and his statement in agreement with the Lord, he is an apostle. If he is not, he is Satan, Jesus said. Isn't it Jesus, he called Peter, Satan, stay away from me? Did Jesus say that? Stay away from me, Satan? Who? Peter. So even Peter, when he said things out of the line is not right, the Messiah, he called him Satan, not a sinner, not you are wrong. He said, Satan, stay away from me. Isn't it the one who denied Jesus is a disciple of Jesus? Are you people now worshiping disciples? Who denied Jesus? Who said, I don't know him? Who watched him being arrested? Who is the one who get paid and deliver him to his enemies? Apostle. So you have a wrong idea about the apostle, my friend. Yeah, I know there's many priests, Catholic priests, they like what I do. But the problem is, my friend, because the way the Catholic Church is made, they are not allowed, like even, like you said now to me, this priest, he like what I do. He watched my video, but he cannot invite me. Why? Because they have a system which is not free. It's not up to them to invite somebody to make a speech. He cannot. Even the guy you are saying he listened to me, he like what I do, but he cannot invite me to his church. So now we have a church. Somehow they are forbidden to hear the truth, so we can teach this church how to defeat Islam, and they cannot fool your children. Because the purpose of our teaching is not only, I mean, I come here every day. Honestly, my back is hurt from sitting and staying. How many hours right now I'm here? How many hours? Almost 3 hours. How many hours yesterday? How many hours the day before? Do you think it's fun for me to come every day here, stay here, talking, saying the same stupid things? Shouting, arguing. It's not fun. It is headache. It is, you know, will destroy your health. Staying for 5, 6 hours, you can't even go to the bathroom. So why we are here? We are here to do what the priests are not doing. I'm not a priest. If the priests are doing their job, I will not be here. I am here because your priest is not doing what he should do, what he is paid for. He have a free housing, he have insurance, he have a salary. I can't even fix my teeth if I want to pay, I don't have insurance, I don't have health insurance. So we have to make a revolution, us. We don't wait for the church or so-called church, because those church, they became a routine organization. They are not doing, they don't have the spirit and the of the old church, where they go and teach and preach and bring people to Jesus. They are sitting inside the church, people bring them gifts and they respect them and father and etc. And the guy, he think he is a big deal like Mohammed. So we replace Mohammed by many Mohammed. This is why our mission is not easy. And, and for me, always I will work hard to unite the Christians, because as you see, the one who divide them is the devil, Allah. It's in the front of your eyes. Chapter 5, verse 14. Remember this always. The one who wants you to be divided is the devil of Islam. So the second you work toward division between the Christians, you are working for Allah. Ask yourself, who is the one would like us to be divided? You know the answer. Do you think the devil, he will be happy to see the Christians are united? You know the answer. Christian who don't love his brother in Christ from any church, he is no Christian. If Jesus said, love your enemy, you can't even love your brother in Christ. How do you unite? Just follow Jesus. Don't follow the priest. As simple as that. Stay away from anyone, any man who teach division. If any church, he say to you, we only give salvation, they are not telling the truth. Jesus gives salvation. It's not a church. It's not a bishop. It's not a priest. Doesn't matter what the name of the church. It is Catholic, it's Protestant, it's Orthodox. None of those will give you salvation but Jesus. Only fool, they follow men. The wise man, he follow God. So don't be the same as the foolish man who built his villa, his palace over the sand. How you can bring mouse lambs to Jesus if you cannot even love your own brother? Yeah, we have to love each other and we have to be forgiven. Even sometimes there's a bad history, but history is history. We learn from it. But we need to learn to be forgiven, and we are following Jesus, not a bishop, not a priest. And even when you will pray, our Father art of heaven, the first thing you do, you say, forgive to us. The same we forgive to others. So forgiveness is a key of salvation. believe is a must in order to be able to be forgiven, because you cannot forgive unless you're a believer. And faith in Jesus, the Savior, that will make you be saved, and then the act will come, because faith without act is a dead faith, as the Bible said. So Christianity is not even going to church. It's not a ceremony, it's not a rituals. Christianity is a life with Jesus. You love, you give, you do, you save. That is Jesus. Jesus said, I was hungry and you fed me. I was a prisoner, you took, you visited me. I was a stranger, you took me in. They said, Lord, when we did that to you? We did not do that to you. He said, when you did it to my brothers, you did it to me. Anyone, we are his brothers. God do not need you to feed him. He do not need your donation. You cannot bribe God with donation. Can you? This is only in Islam. God, he need a loan, he need a mortgage, because Muhammad is the God. In Christianity, you cannot buy God, you cannot buy salvation by giving some money to church or somebody poor. This is not how it works. But because you are a believer, because you have faith, because of your faith, you do good. Good is automatic from you. You are the good tree. Good tree give good fruits. This is why the Lord, he said, from their fruits you shall know them. Not from your name. Who cares what your name is? The Lord, he will know you from your fruits. The Bible is in front of you. Go read it. And many people, they dress nice, they show themselves, they are polite, but they have no fruits. Where is the fruits? I remember once a bishop, he said to me, what are you getting from this, arguing with Muslims, etc. So I said to him, the bishop is old, man. I speak to him with respect. I respect his age. So I said to him, Father, just a question. How many Muslims you converted to Christianity? All your life. At that time, this guy, he was like really old. I don't know if he's still alive. He said, none. I said, ask me the same question. Just ask me the same question. So sadly, you will find somebody, he spent his life serving a church, but he brought nobody to Jesus. So what you did exactly? Here you see some silly comment. I will give you an example. The person, his name is Nothing Below Me. If your God require you to love him with all your heart, then what happened to psychopath who cannot feel or express love? Your Bible was written before we know. This is very silly of you, my friend. You are assuming that people do not know about people who have sickness before? Like, well, this is something happening in you? Very silly. My Bible teach that everyone, he will get what he deserve. So if you already say you are a person who have a mental illness and you kill people, you have no brain, God will not punish you based in the killing. He will punish you based in what you are, how aware of what you are doing. God is about justice. So everyone, he will be questioned based in what he is given. So this is why Jesus, he taught us in parable, like the master who have the 3 servants, one he gave him 1 load, the other one he gave him 2, etc. So then he asked them what they bring back. So if the Lord he gave you 0 load, how you can make the 0 2? He will not ask you for impossible. So the Lord will judge people based in their ability and what he gave them, not in what they have not. I'm not going to ask a person to walk when I did not give him legs. And that's what Jesus do. He will ask you only to do what you can do, not what you cannot. There is many people, they have, I don't know what they call it in science today, syndrome, and like many illness, you know. Those people, I mean, didn't know, they did not receive what we receive, but doesn't mean they are bad. You might find one of them too, I don't know, doing even crime. But do you think God will judge them the same way he will judge you and me? No. You will be judged by your ability of thinking, acting, controlling yourself, what God gave you. So if you do it based on evil, you are being evil, then you will be judged for your evil. If you commit a crime because you're stupid, which means you don't know what you are doing. You have a mental illness, you know. You saw a key of a car, you jump in the car, you do not know how to drive, you have a mental illness, and you drove the car, you never drove a car before, and you hit people because you don't even know how to stop the car. You killed many now. God will not punish you for a crime you commit, you do not know what are you doing. Murder is you knowing what you are doing. This is why we call it murder. This is why you say it's an accident which caused death. You don't call it murder. Even the person who did the accident is fully wise and smart, not mentally ill or anything. Still you call it incident, because it was not meant. It's not your decision. It's not your purpose. Anyway, I believe we have enough for today. I hope we did have some good time together. Feel free to download my videos if you care, to share them in your, I mean, the videos are long. You can cut the pieces if you like. And I don't know, we did not get any Muslim. Usually when nobody call us, no serious Muslim debate, you know, I don't keep the video. So you can download it, but usually I don't keep those kind of videos if there is no real debate, something hot, you know, we did. But for free, for sure, you can download the video. I want to say thank you guys for being here. It's getting really so late for me. Debate Hamza. My friend, your Hamza is a Hamza. Don't tell me debate Hamza. We are live and we have our Skype is open for many hours and your Hamza never dare to call me. Is that Hamza the one who sell panties? Is that the one you are telling me to debate him? The one who made fun of apostate prophet when he said to him that Abraham was a messenger for all mankind? I mean, your Hamza is a donkey to the point an atheist who did not know much about Islam, he was dying laughing at him. He said to him, Abraham, according to the Quran, sent to all mankind. He said, where do you get this from? Where do you get this from? This is the Hamza, the one who sell panties. Debate Hamza. Why you don't give me the Skype of Hamza and I will call him? Now, what a potato you are. All those who they challenge me to debate this and that, all what you need to do, give me the Skype of this person and we will call him when we go live. If you want, we can do it now. Stop whining like a goat. She don't have a baby inside her. It just gas from eating the wrong grass. You know that none of you dare to debate me. This is why all of you, you debate David Wood, you debate, but nobody dare to come to my door. And the only one who dare is the one who will not lose his career. Somebody is unknown. Somebody he can call and nobody knows who is he. But those who have names, or they claim they have names and career of bashing Christianity, they don't dare to get close to me. Face it. Take it or leave it. So I want to say thank you guys. Again, feel free to download the video. I might delete it later. Until we see you soon again, may the Lord bless you all. And remember that we as a Christian, we should be always united. Division is from the devil, and whoever do it, he is serving the devil, even if he is a good person. Even if he is a good person. It might happen that the person is good, but because of his ignorance, he tried to divide us. He think he's doing good. You know, Jesus said, time will come and people, they will think they are doing favor to God by killing you. See how stupid a human being is? Time will come and people will think they are doing favor to God. They believe in God. And they are killing you for the sake of God. The Bible says, my people being destroyed because of their ignorance. Ignorance. We need to get rid of it. And this is what we do here. So I hope we are helping you every day to fight ignorance. And remember, all of us, we have ignorance. I don't want to be a person who says, oh, I'm the one who can teach you. We learn every day. I learn every day. You know, learning process is never ending. The person who thinks he knew everything is an ignorant person. He's a foolish too. One of the signs of foolishness is when you think you are the wise. You know, the only wise is our Lord. That's why we need him. If you see, if I am wise, if it's enough for me to be me, then I do not need Jesus. I do not need his teaching. I do not need the Bible. So, but because we knew that we can be easy misguided, easy deceived, so we have to strengthen ourselves with something cannot be deceived. Someone, he is proving to us that he is above any deception. And the only name we have is the Messiah. So you trust yourself, you are fooling yourself. Easy you can be deceived. A man can be deceived by sex, by money, by power, by fame, by anything. I mean, the whole world around us is just a form of deception. Even just because maybe you look good, you are deceived immediately. You became so proud. Oh, this woman, she looks so good, so she thinks highly of herself. She is the most beautiful. Oh, this guy looks so handsome, so he thinks he is so proud. He looks better than everybody. But the fact inside the person, there's nothing but a fool. A true wise person is the one who understands that he is a fool. And because of his foolishness, he needs the help of the Lord. This is the best wisdom and the best advice to you. Don't depend on yourself. You find yourself suffering from a problem, there is something, go to the Bible. Read. Try to find. The Lord will speak to you. The Lord will inspire you. The Lord will give you solution. Don't just depend on yourself. You see, a body with no spirituality is just a dead body. It's like a concrete. It's cold. So the Lord is the one who warms us. This is real. This is not a speech. You know, the second you start reading what Jesus said, you will feel this is real talk. This is something touching my life. Even he spoke 2,000 years ago. I challenge you to open any chapter Jesus spoke in, which is 2,000 years ago. And now we are in the age of the internet. We are in the age of technology. We are in the age of going to the space. And you will find that Jesus is speaking about what you have today. and what you have tomorrow. This is how you know that the word of God is eternal, because it cannot expire by time. It's not outdated. Go read any chapter of Christ, any statement, and you will not find one thing is outdated. Nothing can outdate God. But man will be outdated. The law you have today is going to be a joke tomorrow. You change your own law by your own self. And then in the future, you laugh at yourself for the law you used to have. So you want to string yourself by the Messiah, by his word, by his teaching, and stay away from being proud. Be humble. Don't be arrogant. And when you do wrong, admit you do wrong and ask the Lord for forgiveness. And do your best to fight your wrong. Don't make it a lifestyle. Lifestyle of sin will take you to nowhere except hell. Thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you. And until we see you again, Christ is Lord and Islam is false. Take care.